Okay, I'm kind of doing this off rip. Apparently an Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree story trailer dropped like 2 days ago. I don't really have social media, so I just see other people posted about it. I saw Immolition and Ratatoskr were posting about it, so I'm gonna give it a shot. This is all just, I'm just gonna do this in one go, I think. Oh, don't start yet. Okay, so this is just gonna be like a pretty general reaction, maybe just some quick analysis, some quick thoughts and impressions, because obviously, I mean, I'm a huge Elden Ring fan. It's permanently etched into my skin. For those of you, if this is the first time you've ever seen anything that I post, but I love FromSoft. I love Soulsborne games. Elden Ring is my favorite game of all time. So let's get into this. This big old buffering wheel. All right. I think the volume 16. Yeah, the volume's good. That's fine. Yeah, it'll be evened out. Okay, let's give it a watch.
Mikula the Kind spoke of the beginning.
Ooh. Ugh.
The seduction and the betrayal.
Oh. That's disgusting
from
looking.
Which gold arose.
The visuals are amazing, though.
Was Shadow born. What followed was a war unseen. One that could never be put to song. A purge without
Yep.
grace.
Mesmer. Nice. Which, I was stupid the first time I watched this. I was like, oh, is that Mikula? And it was, no, that's Mesmer. I didn't know the name until the end of it, so that was whatever.
The tyranny of Mesmer's flame.
Oh, there's the thing. Jesus. Just the impaled, like, creatures that we have there. Yeah, and this is like, wow. I'm gonna have to watch this again, because...
And so kindly Mikula would abandon everything. His golden flesh, his blinding strength, even his fate.
So it's kind of purple. I'll get into that in a second.
But we are not deterred. We choose to follow.
I'm sorry.
Will you walk with us?
I'm so stoked for this. I can't even wait. I'm actually thinking about platinuming Elden Ring again. I did it on PS4, but my PS4 was junk, so I got it on PC, and you know, I'm thinking about doing that soon. So June 21st. Again, you didn't see it on camera, but I literally went, because I'm 27, but I still have to count. Like January, February, March, April, May, June. I still have to count. Like I'm... Okay. All right. So let's go back and pick it apart, like line by line.
Peggy 16.
Okay, so that is basically like the fact that they even have to point out Peggy 16. I don't know who this Peggy character is.
Hey, that really sucked.
Mikula the Kind spoke of the beginning.
Okay, so, okay. All right.
The seduction and the betrayal.
What is that hair?
And the betrayal.
Is that hair?
Nicola the Kind spoke of the beginning. The seduction and the betrayal.
Nicola the Kind. So Nicola, I mean, I've been watching a lot of lore videos and stuff like that, but I also have the attention span of a fucking walnut, so I can't remember really anything. And my memory is just ass. So don't expect me to like recall lore and get anything right. So if I say anything stupid, just roast me in the comments for it. That's fine.
And the betrayal.
Okay, is that hair? So this is in the other world, right? Like the shadow of the Erdtree, like, you know.
An affair from which gold arose.
So there was a video, I think it was Ratatoskr. Shout out to Ratatoskr. They made a video talking about how, like, I can't remember. See, this is why I can't remember. I actually kind of want to look it up, and we will do that. Just because I want to make sure I get this completely right. Ratatoskr. Oops, sorry, I spelled that wrong.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so they point out that let's see.
This is Ratatoskr.
Where did I comment? I think I commented on this video. What if Godwyn gets brought back in the DLC via the Eclipse, and we get to give him a true honorable death in combat?
About the lore of the wandering mausoleums. The walking tombs scattered across the lands destined to death away from...
They mentioned the Eclipse and how, like, it could, like... Just watch the video. I don't want to, like, misquote or anything. And the death of the lands between, from the underground to the great trees from...
Great tree, sprouting in the form of spirit ashes describe...
Sacrifice her life so that in death she could continue to protect the soulless demigod. There's, I think there's a theory that he's, like, proposing that, like, during the eclipse you could, like, bring someone back. I'm gonna put this video in the description if you want to watch the whole thing. But essentially the theory that I had is, what if, because Godwyn didn't get an honorable death because, you know, he was assassinated on the Night of Black Knives, and it was the first demigod in their history to be killed. And so what if there is some way we get to give Godwyn that honorable death, and we get to actually fight Godwyn, maybe not in his prime, but in some variation of Godwyn. I think that would be kind of cool. This is Nicola, and then I don't know what this is. Honestly, this is terrifying. This looks like that sword. Again, I can't remember anything. So, like the flesh sword that you get from Rykard. But just as a place. So.
And so too was Shadow born.
Okay, so let me go back. That's
an affair from which gold arose. And so too was Shadow.
So gold arose, and then so too Shadow. So it's like Shadow of the Erdtree is like implying that the Erdtree, the gold of the Erdtree, its shadow is where this realm exists. So
born.
Obviously it's all going to make sense when it's released, but
what followed was a war unseen.
So this is the war. Is this the war that took place in the lands between? Or did it take place in the world of the Shadow of the Erdtree?
One that could never be put to song. A purge without grace or honor. The The tyranny of Mesmer's flame.
I want to know who this is in particular. Or would this, could that be Miquella? I don't know. Well, you got that big scary piece of shit right here. So Mesmer is fighting that. So it's like the, what is it? The, like the omen. It's like an omen creature of some kind, right? Mesmer's fighting that. Then there's... Are these impaled omen creature? Well, there's just these fellas. And then you've got, because the horns of the omens, like... So I want to know what Mesmer's deal is. Like, why is, like, he's, you know... Is Mesmer, like, spearheading the war, or... Okay.
And so kindly Miquella would abandon everything.
So they say kindly Miquella would abandon everything. I'm sure that literally everything that they do in my brain is for a reason. The music is amazing too, by the way.
His golden flesh. His blinding strength.
So they are painting Miquella in, and I think I have an idea. They're painting Miquella in a very like positive light, which I think that's just kind of sort of the gist of the original. Like, I mean, the original, whatever. Miquella, I don't think Miquella has ever been depicted as like a negative force in the Lands Between. So we'll get into who Miquella is, and like this is purple. So like, you know, you think Saint Trina, because isn't Saint Trina like Miquella's alter ego kind of, but like people love Saint Trina in the Lands Between. It is like devoted to sleep and like all these things. So I love the purple, and I love, if this is Miquella, like then I feel like this is a Saint Trina. Either like this will be explained or whatever.
But we are not deterred.
So they're not deterred. So I love that this is like a veil. So this is not like, okay, so when people were talking about the Shadow of the Erdtree originally, like people were talking about how, like, obviously, wasn't it confirmed that like you enter through the little limb behind Moog? I'm butchering what you would call that, like technically, but these are people that are like devout followers of Miquella. And look at this. Like, I love how I almost like put my hands up to it, but like I can do that, but you won't see it. But like it's like a veil over the Erdtree, and like this is in this land. It is the actual shadow of the original Erdtree, which is very fascinating. Like this is a land that takes place in the actual shadow of the Erdtree. Like it's very literal, that's genius. Like it's not like a separate timeline. It's not time travel. Like it still is in the time of the Lands Between, like, but it's in the literal shadow, which is like so badass. Oh, and these armors, like there's so many different armors that we're going to be able to get. Like there's different types of followers, it seems like, or maybe they're all, I don't know if they're in the same faction or they just have different roles. Because the circle, like if you pre-order it, you get that like the circle, right? And then that's like the something about the followers of like Miquella or whatever. I want to figure out. I want to figure out what each of them do. And then the circle of Miquella is like if you're a follower, you know to throw up the sign, you know. So that's pretty much all I got. Maybe not insightful. I hope it is to some extent, but it's just me talking, you know. So I hope you got something out of this. Check out, I'm going to link Immolition's video and Ratatoskr's video because Ratatoskr is one of my favorites. I'll see you guys soon. I'll upload this whenever I get around to it. So love you guys. Bye.